Good evening, everybody. This is Octavius Prime with another great story, a great heroic story of a hero's journey of our friend Lauren. And I'm going to let Star and Lauren go into a conversation. 'Cause, her and Lauren are very good friends. And so I'm going to let them start it off. But, we've talked behind the scenes, and I think this is going to be one of the most positive videos that you guys will probably hear on YouTube in a long time. So I'm gonna let Star and Lauren do their thing for a while, and after that, I ask some questions. But this is gonna be a beautiful story, guys.
Hello, everybody. This is Star, and I just want to say light love. And I'm so happy to have y'all here. And me and Octavius decided together to bring Lauren on board because she's also another one of our buddies, and she's also another very successful story. And I think that with her and I and other women amongst us, we have to get together as a unit to empower women. One person can't do it all, and there's no I in team. And you know, we all have to be able to bind together as a unit to be a positive force on social media. Like I told y'all in the last chat, social media is missing the sun right now. And every woman out there that is my viewpoint, or every woman out there that is in my reach or that I know, if I see a success story, I am going to bring them to the forefront. I'm going to let Lauren tell you guys how her and I met. I've known Lauren for over 10 years now. So she's also a very good friend of mine. She's very familiar with Octavius because I've known Octavius for years too. And of course, women are women. We have our conversations that we don't have with our male friends. And Lauren is my feminine portion of friendship because I can't talk to Octavius about things that I could talk to Lauren about because he's not a female. So I have Lauren as a very good friend, and I have Octavius as a very good friend, and as a unit all three of us are friends. So Lauren, I'm going to let you start off with telling them how you and I met, and then giving them your story of what actually made you go from being out there dancing, stripping, and becoming a nurse like you are today. By the way, my friend is a nurse right now. I'm so proud of you, Lauren.
I appreciate everybody. This is my first time doing this, so I don't want to be all jittery. But me and Star have been friends for like she said, 10 years. I met her in Atlanta. It's funny. I was posting ads on Craigslist as a hairstylist because I was new in the area trying to get clients, and Star was like one of my like she became my best friend. And I witnessed her go through so many transitions in her life and are similar. So and we always stayed in contact, which was beautiful. So she became like my sister, like my soul sister. Like she really, like literally, me and her, like we connect. So like I don't know what else do you want me to say. What else did you ask me?
Okay, tell them about what happened with you as far as when you got into the fight with the girls and your teeth got knocked out, and how that brought you to the Lord.
Oh, well, I have to rewind first. Because for all that it was first. It was my lifestyle at the time. I was dancing, I was stripping, and I was prostituting. I was at the lowest of my life. Um and I was working at this club, and this club was like probably one of the worst clubs in Philadelphia. It was just a trap basically. And I never really I never how can I say this about this? It was basically when girls get together and they realize that the power that you have, it can be intimidating. So they want to get you out the way. And I was so naive to that I could thinking that I can walk around by myself and just, and at that time I had no faith in God. I had no faith anything because my life had got so low. At that time I was on heroin. At that time I was homeless. At that time I lost all of my children. And I was just with my children's father and we were homeless. So I was doing whatever I could do to make money to feed my addiction and to feed myself. I just remember myself cursing God, like, God, why did you make me to suffer? Like, I'm watching everybody go home, happy family. At the time, I'm riding the Broad Street line back and forth, so that I can at least get some sleep and then go back to work. I was trapped in a cycle. Um, girls realized that the girls that were working with me, they realized that I was basically a target because I was homeless. Once they found out that I was homeless, it was a wrap. They made up a story about me saying that I stole something from somebody, I robbed somebody, and they jumped me. They knocked my front teeth out. I had to make my front tooth with something like polymorph beads for about a year. It was just so embarrassing. And it was like one thing after another, one after another. And I'm like, not thinking like why can't I get better, but I had to realize it was I had to leave one thing alone, and that was that lifestyle. Everything that I knew I had to forget at that time. I don't know if I'm running too forward, but like I want to slow down for a second, but yeah, I don't know. I just there was a lot.
Well, Lauren, when I came
We,
back from Mexico, Lauren's all of her teeth were completely missing, all of them. And she was so embarrassed. And I was like, "What happened to your pretty teeth?" And she was like, "I got jumped. I was too nice at the club and these girls jumped me." And Star, I just don't know what to do. Go ahead, Lauren. Are you getting emotional?
No, because I don't get emotional about this because I don't regret it. I kind of feel like when people try to
Okay.
do things to good people, God always get, I never retaliated. And that was my thing. I'm so glad I never retaliated because I felt like I got blessed with a new set of teeth that were better than the ones that I had before. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it all comes back to I found my faith by being alone, by being with nobody. And I remember being in a room. I don't want to speed forward, but I remember just being alone in a bando, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself like I remember cursing God. And then probably a week later I remember losing my mind thinking that I heard the neighbors talking. And all along I really felt like it was God trying to scare me into getting my life on track.
Well, let
Hello.
me yeah, let me get into it. I just want to establish your character. Like, what was life like for you growing up? Like, for girls like you, your background. You know, I think it's sometimes a lot similar. So, like, what was life like for you growing up? Can you hear me?
Sorry.
Oh, she bored again right now.
She's falling out. Oh, she can't hear us.
No, she was. I guess her audio.
She's messing up
Can
like
you
I was last time.
Hello?
Go
Can you
ahead,
hear me?
Lauren.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, great. Well, all right, great. Well, growing up, my life was it was good. My dad was a state trooper. My mom is an author. We grew up in Germantown. My mom always had foster kids and stuff like that, and I felt like I picked up a lot of bad habits from them, because I didn't know my situation was
Rewind because you like you was.
good
I couldn't hear you.
until I everything. So
Yeah,
my life, like, I can't. Hello,
yeah, I
can you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Go ahead. Yeah, you good.
All right, great. All right. So no,
All
like
right.
I had a really good background. My parents were supportive, and I really loved them for that. My dad, he was the epitome of like the strong black man. I always use him as a reference when I'm in picking out men because I feel like um he gave me such good examples to live by and good morals. And I know that he even still texts me to this day saying things like if I don't show up to something at a certain point, certain time, he's like, you're supposed to be a woman of your word, Lauren. And I like that because if you don't have that background, you don't you get the wrong information from the wrong people.
Yep, and you know what? I want to chime on in on that. I think that women that had their fathers in their life, just like I did, I had my dad in my life as well. That's why I told y'all in the last show that there are men out here that do protect black women.
Yeah.
Women like, and I'm not saying other women don't turn around, but I've noticed like a lot of the girls that I've met while I was out in the clubs and out in the streets that fell on hard times that actually turned their lives around successfully. Most of us did have our father in our lives and they were good dads.
Yes.
So that's a
Hmm.
key factor there, guys, and that kind of ties in to the last
Yeah,
live that we did.
if it wasn't for my father, I probably still would be on the street because I remember like one of like the last month of my run, I remember seeing him and he was his look of disgust, but he still had like he looked like he wanted to cry. It wasn't even disgust. He was more so disappointed. And I never wanted to see that look in my father's face again. So I felt like I had to tighten up. Hello?
Yep, we're here. Hmm.
Okay. All right. So I know that Star, you wanted to I don't when I'm on a spot it's so hard. So I have to pretend in my mind that it's just us two,
You know
okay?
what
Cause
it is.
we have to.
You know what, we're not. This is our first time doing this, Lauren. But
Oh, can you hear me?
I want, huh?
Hmm.
Oh, she didn't hear my question.
No,
Wow.
we didn't hear.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Okay. As a child, how did you spend your time?
Oh, a drawing, painting, um
Hmm.
everybody like my sister realized that I could draw really good. So I remember Khalees had the video Milkshake, I think it was, and she had on her back, she had like flowers and stuff like that. So I drew them on her back. And at that time I realized that's when I wanted to be a tattoo artist. And my family and my friends never let me give it that up. So it turned into a profession of mine. So I also do tattoos
Oh,
from that
wow.
came from that. So yeah.
Yeah. What were some of the hard times of your childhood that you think that can made it conducive for you to get into the sex industry?
um Being around different, my mom had a lot of foster children and they all came with habits, bad habits, and even if my mother didn't see it, they came with it. Always was sexual trauma. And that's kind of why I am so reserved the way I am when it comes to like sex and stuff like that, because when you're around like when they say when money is not the problem, you got other shit to worry about, right?
Yeah.
So like I just never liked the fact that sometimes it was always something new. It was always drama. It was I never mind sharing my mother. Never mind that. I love the fact that my mom always gave these children love, but it was the fact that when they came in, it was always something that always like would be dramatic and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I learned to deal with women in drama and learned how to be a big sister and just be like, look, let me put it all out there because obviously you need some help. I'm gonna help you out.
All right. Like moving forward with your life though, like when did you feel like you started
Mhm.
to have the need for God? Like when you was out there, at your lowest, like uh when did you
Um,
first start experiencing the realization that you need God in your heart?
well, it all first, my brother passed away, and
Hmm.
my life was cool. I didn't have any complaints. If even if I had problems, I thought I had problems. I really didn't have any problems. My brother passed away. It was the first time I ever witnessed somebody close to me dying. So I picked up all of his bad habits, and he my brother, he was a fun guy, but he did perks, he smoked weed, stuff like that. At the time, I didn't do any of that stuff. So when he passed, I ended up, it's so crazy. I just ended up just picking up his burdens, and people always say that I remind them of my brother, but um and my perk addiction started, and I realized that I needed God when I lost it all. When you have everything, you feel like you work so hard to obtain your house, and you got your
Yeah.
dream family, and you got your, and Star used to always come over my house and be like, I love the way your husband treats you. I love the this is so beautiful, and I never really realized what I had
Let
until
me let me just
it got
let
taken from me.
me
And
let me chime in real quick too, Lauren. When I first met Lauren, I
go
met
ahead.
Lauren with her husband and her children, and she lived like she just had husband goals. She had what I call family goals. Like her life to me was perfect. I was a
Hmm.
dancer. I was in and out of town, going to fight for custody of my son. I had just got a divorce. And every time I would come to Lauren's house, I would be complimenting her husband. He'd be laughing, she'd be laughing. And I realized that Lauren was so secure as a woman, period. Like, I mean, her house, whenever I came to visit, felt like my second home. Like, I would just be sleeping in her couch. I'll go there to get my hair done and end up there 6, 7 hours playing with all her babies. And her husband was
Hmm.
just like the best. When he got killed, I was just he ended up getting killed years later. And that's when I think that
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
he ended
okay.
up getting killed. He died 2 years ago, Lauren, or three? Three, right?
No,
It was
he
like
died
3 years.
last year. He died.
Yeah, last
He
year.
died last year, right before COVID.
Yes.
He was. It's so
Mm-hmm.
crazy. If they say, if they don't, if the drugs don't kill you, the lifestyle will. Right. So he just was caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. He got killed down Kensington and Allegheny. And to me, it stood out to me like him losing him kind of was the reminder to me not to ever go back or to retrace my steps to even go back, because if it's so much with that, that's why I can honestly will say that I am 2 years clean, because he was the example for me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Would you ever strip again, Lauren, or would you ever go back to drugs ever?
Well, I always thought about I always thought about dancing, because it's so funny, because people always, like, you know how to, like, when you once you get your life together, the devil worked 10 times harder, right? So
Yes.
like now the places that I couldn't get in, and now they telling me they want me to work and they gonna pay me more, and then like it's, but no, hell no, I would never dance ever again in my life. I would never do those things. I would never do drugs like, nope, hell no. Sweet, yeah, um but drugs, no. I would never, I wouldn't get into that, because I already know where it left me. I lost my whole family, so it's no really no in my house. How many houses am I going to lose? How many houses, how many, like, no, it's not even a thought to me at all. And I even don't even have the urge to like, they don't even cross my mind, because I don't like that feeling no more. The last time I picked up the needle to shoot up, I said I put I was like, I don't want to do this to myself no more. Like, the realization clicked to me, like, do you realize what you were about to do? Like, I couldn't even do it because I felt like the spirit left me to do that. Does that make sense? Like, the
It
all
makes a lot of
passion
sense. Yeah.
left, and
Yeah.
I was praying on this so hard. I was praying on this so hard, like, I just want to lose the desire. Can I lose the desire? Lose the desire? And I felt like God was walking with me, taking baby steps with me. Like, okay, Lauren, like like God understood everything I was going through. Like, okay, don't take this whole bag, take a half a bag. I promise you, I walked down. Like, I didn't just stop. I literally had a plan, and this plan was not from me. It was a plan from God. I stepped. It was
Let me
like, okay, Lauren, go ahead.
let me tell y'all what I love. Let me tell y'all what I love about Lauren the most. Lauren was your typical, she did use drugs. She definitely kept that honest with me. She told me what kind of drugs that she used, but Lauren has what you call a very, 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 very beautiful aura. And I met Lauren before when she was whole, when she got broken, and once she got whole again. And I feel like me being a friend to her, because Lauren would call me all the time and come over my house, and I would go over her house and spend all night over her house too, and be like, Star, I just don't want to do this. And I never gave up on her. I never wrote my homegirl off like, oh, she on drugs. I ain't messing with her no more. She taking needles. I'm not messing with her. She on heroin. She doing pills. I never ever did that to Lauren. I never hid money from Lauren. Lauren's never stole money from my home. None of that. She's never lied to me. She was always very truthful, and I knew she had potential, and I was not going to let my friend and leave her side. And even to this day, Lauren is like, you know what, Star, you have inspired me. And I feel like the reason why I was able to inspire this girl, and now she's becoming a nurse. And sometimes when I listen to her talk, I'm so tickled pink inside, and I'm so grateful to God that I was able to really be there for someone and not just write them off. See, so what the whole
Yes,
point of
and
me
that's,
bringing her
can I pause? Can
is
I?
because,
I'm sorry. Can I
yes,
pause you
cross in,
real
mama,
quick
cross
because
in.
that's the one thing that I want to stress. People always feel like when their family members or friends or whoever you know, somebody's on drugs, you treat them like they're the worst thing in the world. But what you don't realize is they feel like that inside, and you wouldn't want to. How would it's like? What's up? All right, 1 second. But how would you? How would you? I'm sorry, I got thrown off. But you're supposed to respond with love, especially not neglect. At that point in
Yes,
time, that's the strongest. And how I learned this lesson is because when before Vito passed, and that was my husband at the time. Before he passed, he was on heroin also, and I was
Mm-hmm.
upset with him for not getting clean when I was getting clean. And I started counting my days. I'm like, okay, I've been in rehab 7 days. Where you at? I've been in
Mm-hmm.
rehab 21 days. Where you at? But by the 21st day, I was at my end. I said, listen, when I come home, I cannot come back to you. I can't be with you. And I said I had to write him off. And it felt like the best thing in the world for me at the time. But now I'm realizing it was the worst mistake to me. I still, that's the one regret I had because I feel like I should have stood by him because he had a sickness. And when people are sick, you need to like that. You need support. Star gave me nothing but love and support. She welcomed me. She gave me so much love that I wanted to quit. My sister, she did the same thing. My sister, she brought me to New Jersey and was like, listen, I don't know where you think you going after this, but you gonna stay right here. We're gonna thug it out. I don't care if I gotta, take you to cop, but I don't want you to go back out there. My sister did.
oh,
She ended
Lauren,
up
I
taking me to
wanted to
cop one
tell
time.
that
But
part.
Oh,
Lauren, I
hold,
wanted to tell
what?
I wanted
I got hold
hold
Star. I
on,
got to
hold
go
on.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I wanted to chime in on that. I was getting ready to tell y'all. Now, I didn't neglect Lauren, and I didn't leave her. When I had to move out of Philly and I was in between apartments from here and there, Lauren has a beautiful, beautiful house. Don't tell your location. And she said, Star, you know you could stay here and live with me if you want to. You see? So this is what I'm trying to teach our community and why I'm bringing shows like this. The
Yeah.
same person that I could have left out in the street and, oh my God, no, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm doing good. I look good. I got me a job. I got my bachelor's degree. I ain't dealing with her. She taking heroin. No, I showed her love. And as soon as I was in between homes, this same person right here, who the average person would have been like, you know what? I'm writing that friend off. They out in the street. They ain't doing good. They
Mm-hmm.
guess what? She offered me a place to stay in between my transition before I came up here and got my job after I got
Mm-hmm.
my bachelor's degree and I was new out of college. I have my master's now, but when I had my bachelor's degree and I didn't have a job and I was fresh out of college, this same person right here, this same person on live offered me to live in her house and told me flat in my face, you don't have to pay a dime.
I think I remember that too. I want to say we got a special guest in the chat who's going pretty much through the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Misunderstood. She's been public
Hey,
about
misunderstood.
yeah. She's been very public about her addiction to uh, to certain drugs. You know, I don't want to list it, but I wonder if you can give her some words of inspiration. She's going through rehab right now, so since she's in the chat and she's going through,
Oh,
yeah,
I want to give you a hand clap. I want to give you a hand clap, misunderstood, for that, because that is the biggest step. And guess what? It's such a beautiful thing to do. And it's gonna feel so good, like you're born again. People don't know this. Once you come home from rehab, you get this energy that is going to motivate you so much. And you have to use that to the best of your ability. But I just want to applaud you on that. But you have to be mindful of three things. And I know they're going to tell you this: people, places, and things. Because your friends, you might have to get rid of those friends, and that's going to be the hardest part. But you want to know how I did it? I ended up ignoring everybody. When I came home, I ignored everybody. And this is who you're going to see, who's going to be there for you, who's your friend, because they will get you high before they get you sober. So you have to pay attention to people trying to throw. I got a whole lot of shit to say about that, but I'm sorry. Pay
Oh no,
attention to your
go in.
friends.
We know we here to
Oh, go
heal.
ahead.
Pay
Go
pay
in,
attention
Yeah,
Lauren.
to your
Because Lauren was
surroundings.
emailing me out
Pay
the country
attention
like,
to
so
your
I need you. Go
surroundings.
ahead.
yeah.
Yes. Come on,
Pay
Lauren.
attention
Bring
to
it
your
in.
surroundings, misunderstood. You can't hang, like, if I don't know what you do for a living, but if you, once you come home from
She's in
rehab
the
and
same.
you
She's
clean
in a
for a certain
similar
amount,
lifestyle. She's in a similar lifestyle what you're talking about, and she's open about that. But
okay.
she's trying to come out. So you're the perfect person to talk about this because you overcame drugs
Yeah, stay in touch,
and
misunderstood. Listen, stay in touch, because
Mhm.
I'm the type of person that I like to talk to females or males. I don't care who you are. If you have a problem, and I like to help people solve them. Like, so you can
And
always stay in contact with me.
And not only that, Lauren, there's never an excuse. There's people out here that are go or have sugar daddies. They're stay at home wives. They never touched drugs before, and you're actually further than them right now. So what I'm trying to tell these people is never measure yourself by your situation, because it could be somebody in a worse situation, and you way worse than you, that can get further than you as long as they keep their
Right,
mind on Christ and God and they have faith. So that was another reason why I brought this up. I
right,
brought Lauren here. Lauren,
Yeah.
Lauren was on heroin. Lauren was selling drugs. Lauren, I mean, was not selling drugs, was taking drugs. Lauren was outside in a strip club. Lauren had no support system. I don't even remember Lauren ever being on welfare, ever, not one time. Lauren is also a single mom. Lauren now has her own home. Lauren now has a good career. Lauren now is getting ready to get her RN next year. Lauren now is free from drugs, and Lauren still has her same friends that she had 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. And we love her. And we're
Mhm.
faithful to her and we're loyal to her. And there's nothing that she could ever not ask for that is within my reach that I wouldn't give her or help her out with. Lauren is welcome to my home anytime. She is the epitome of what I call a friend. And she's been through a lot. And I promise you, Lauren, you would not have been by yourself if I wasn't in Mexico trying to get my shit together, or if I wasn't in Puerto Rico trying to get my shit together. We even stayed in touch when I was away. Lauren would call me crying. I would be calling her, telling her what I'm doing,
oh,
and I
thank
would
you,
actually
sir.
feel bad
I
because
just even love hearing you say that.
remember I actually feel like I came to Lauren's house from Mexico and I was damn near crying. I spent the night at Lauren's house. I didn't even plan on it, and we didn't even have an extra
We
bed or
all have
nothing
our
made up for me. And I
testimony.
was hello.
I think she her signal went bad for a minute.
Yeah,
Oh, her
we
signal
here.
went.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
here. Hello.
I don't know what faith misunderstood has, but you know, getting over your drug addiction was your faith a vital part of it.
Yes.
I'm talking to Lauren.
Hmm.
Yeah, Lauren said that. Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead, tell them. I don't want. Can she hear you?
I think she's got having some audio issues right now.
Oh yeah. She gonna tell you God though. That girl don't do nothing but praise the Lord all the time. She's
Yeah,
just a little nervous because
Um.
she's not.
eh,
Lauren is not.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you hear what I
Okay.
said
I'm
though?
sorry.
The question.
You said
Yeah,
you said was my
how was your
faith.
belief in God? Yeah, how was your belief in God or your faith in God? How did it help you get over your drug use?
Oh, because first I had to change my whole structure of my mindset of how I thought. I had to change, turn them negatives to positive. You have to learn to have faith first before you have faith in God. You have to have faith, period. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, it's funny, before I even got to get to know God, I had to read this book first, right? It was The Secret. The Secret of Life. You know the Secret.
Yeah, I
You
know
ever
it.
heard of The
Yes.
Secret?
You
All
sent me
right,
that book,
so
Lauren.
yeah, and it's
You
a
sent me
good
that
book
book.
because what it tells you to change your negative to a positive. Just for example, like this. Like when you say things, and this is for people who don't, because I know y'all know, but people who don't know, like when you say things like, "Oh, I don't want to miss this bus." This was in a book. So you change your mindset to say, "I don't want to miss. I don't I'm not going to miss this bus." And because if you do that, I'm saying, because when you think things, they become things. That's how you manifest. So you can even manifest bad things. But my faith in God is why is really really how I quit. I felt like it was that was the only reason. I felt like there was no option. I was left no option really,
Hmm.
Yep. There was
because
no
at
other
one point in
option but God.
time I was diagnosed schizophrenic. I was listen. I'm like, listen. Hello,
Yeah, you here? Go,
Yes.
hello.
go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
I'm sorry. Oh, at one point in time I was diagnosed schizophrenic, and I couldn't understand what I was under, what I was going through. Was it because I was on drugs, or was it? I don't know what it was at the time. I couldn't even think that far. I just knew that I could hear things that nobody else could. At first, I'm like, I was trying to ignore it, but the more I ignored it, the more it made me not be able to be vocal. I could like if my friends that were around me at the time, they would say I wouldn't talk. I couldn't talk. And I felt like I was like under spiritual attack. I really did. I felt like I was in spiritual warfare. I felt like I could hear. Like I was in hell and I can hear. I don't know. The demons talking to me, depending on where I was at. But
Mhm.
as time went on, I started to realize that these things that I'm hearing it could be my conscience. It could be anything. But I believe it was God, because nobody who is say that their voices were positive. My voices have always been positive, have always led me to where I am at now. I don't know a lot of people
Hallelujah.
who overcome
Thank you, Jesus.
the things that I have. So
Lauren, I want you to tell them too. Why did you choose God of Israel or God of Jesus God as opposed to the conscious community? Like, why did you choose to go the typical Christian God route that as opposed to like, going like with I don't know what that conscious stuff is. I don't even know what the names of them
like
are
maybe
anymore. But
okay.
hmm
Because all right, so I was always on the fence about religion because of one thing. Everybody made me afraid of the word Jesus, because nobody comes back nobody comes back from the dead, and like who just like everything that they said that he did is basically impossible to us right now. So basically I just got thrown off. Why I chose that route is because I felt strongly in my soul. Um, it's just like it's just a feeling that you get. Like
Yep.
I couldn't be Muslim. Like I don't believe in your beliefs. So those beliefs I couldn't. I was
And all the
raised in
Muslims that
my
we know
grandmom's
don't,
Christian. So
right.
I would say that's my background. Are very
Gotcha.
disrespectful. I know a lot of Muslims and they're all disrespectful. So I don't want to
Yes.
be a part of
Mhm.
that. I'm being
What
honest.
about
Yeah, I mean, Islam is good for certain people. You know what I mean? But I guess for us, it's
Yeah,
either
but
it's
they
I
have
felt like
Israelite.
made it. But a lot of people, the
Yeah,
younger people, people take what they want from Islam. That's why they take
yeah,
what they want and leave
yeah,
the good stuff behind. The older
why
people
you didn't go like
that were like probably in
mhm.
Malcolm X era,
yeah,
they probably
Why
had
you
some
didn't go like
substance because of their
Santeria
background.
mhm.
What you say?
yeah.
Why you didn't go like Ifa or Santeria or like Nuwapian or like why you didn't go like any other those other conscious communities, those black on black ones with the afros and the pigtails and the I am God. Why you
Because
didn't go
one
into the God thing? Hmm.
because the message was already clear. Once you know God's voice, it's no other way you can go. Like it's
Mhm.
no like. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
Yes,
once you're
yes,
locked in,
God
you're
gonna come.
locked in.
Yeah, nobody,
Yeah.
and I really believe that
It's
nothing can save you. Not that I'm
Hmm.
trying to recruit everybody, but everybody I know that's been in issues like me and Lauren, everybody that I know that's been in issues like me and Lauren, 90% of the people that went to Jesus ended up turning their transitioning their complete life around. When I see
Yeah.
them going other directions, because I tried different directions, I just couldn't get past the ball. I just kept struggling after
yeah.
struggling after struggling, transmuting into another struggle, into another struggle. As soon as I found Jesus, all of a sudden my life just went. I went from zero to a hero in 25 seconds flat. And the same exact thing
Yes, and
happened
isn't
to
that
one
so
of my,
crazy?
Yeah.
huh?
And that's
And
the
that's why
best
I
part
brought you
about
on
it.
the
Once
show.
you really figure out, and once you start receiving all these blessings, and it's amazing because you be like, I could have been living like I was living wrong. Everything that I once knew, like stripping, prostituting, stealing, I used to booze, I used to do all of that, but it was always commended. Like, oh, she came back with the drip and she got the money. It's like
It was
it,
No,
it's
right.
not it's not
we got Brian in the
yeah.
chat.
So
One of your friends, Star.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Brian,
How
put
you doing,
Hop.
Brian on.
Brian?
Let Brian. That's that's Brian, Lauren. Put Brian on.
Hey
Let
B
him
Hop,
Oh,
let
what's
him
all you
come
gotta
going
on.
do is hit the
on?
link. Misunderstood. You can hit the link. I know you guys. I would love to have you come up. And chat.
Brian, come in. Let Brian come in. I want him to tell his story about how he
No,
changed the
we're
lives
gonna
of
we're gonna. I want to do a full live with him.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
another
Yeah,
time,
because he's
but
a,
he
he's
can
very
come up and get
wise.
if he want
He
if he
got
wants to come up.
But he could come in and just say a
Yeah,
couple things just to
yeah,
introduce
yeah. If you want to
himself a
come up,
bit.
hit the
yeah.
link in
Whenever
the
you ready,
chat.
B
I just
Hop, we
spent
waiting on you.
yeah. Same thing with misunderstood. You can come on up,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, B Hop, get
But
up here.
yeah. I'm so
Hmm.
glad to have you guys here, and I'm glad that we have people who need to hear this testimony here too. You know, this is the kind of
And
this
the
is
thing
real
about it,
consciousness. This is real. This is real light work. When we start talking about,
and I want to
you know,
say this too. I want to say this. We don't make the internet look shiny. Me and Lauren, we have the salary, we have the money. We could look shiny. We could buy the old beautiful photo shoots if we want to, and buy beautiful video shoots if we
mhm.
want to, and make it look shiny. But me and me and my friends, we like to teach 5D. We don't teach 3D with 5D lifestyle. We're not 3D with a 5D lifestyle. We have real testimony. We're not actors. This is real stuff. That's one of the reasons why I don't make my photos shiny. That's one of the reasons why I don't have highly professional, highly digitized, filtered photos online, because I'm not into selling people a facade. I want people to really, really see that they can become. But
Brian, you got to turn down your background. I think you got your YouTube up.
and we yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a whole
Yes.
lot better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian,
Cool.
jump in.
Hi, how y'all doing?
All right.
We
Fine.
doing
Introduce
great.
yourself. Tell us
I
who
was
you
kind.
are and what you do.
Yeah, I was
I was.
told about you that you're a detective and you also own a club, and you
Well, no, I
you
used to own a after a go-go club
okay.
years ago.
Yeah.
It was very prominent go-go club in the city of Philadelphia, and kind of the conversation kind of migrated into some of the individual ladies that used to come in and what positions they were in mentally, physically, financially, and otherwise. And my mission and my quest was to get them onto a right track, no matter what they were going through in their lives. And just to
Yeah.
have somebody, even in the seediest place, somebody that actually cared.
Yeah.
Because the problem with a lot of things is we tend to buy into stereotypes, and we tend to think that they're the majority of situations. Stereotypes are not the majority. They're just actual small truths that exist, but they don't depict the larger aspect of how a society or an entity or some other thing lives. So we gotta reevaluate a lot of times what we deem as a majority, because we can turn ourselves off from success because we keep believing into these negative narratives that get put out by people who want ulterior motives done.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So let's understand one thing in reference to the go-go world, or some people call it the underworld, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
in the white world, it's a gentleman's club. It's a very respected profession. And these young women on the white side of things put themselves through college and buy condos and have brand new cars and all of that. Why is it always good for other communities, but when it's our community, unfortunately, it's always looked down upon? One, it's
Right.
because there's two Americas. Let's not forget that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two,
Yes. White American. Yes.
right. Our communities are stressed out because we have factors that hold us in perpetual or suspended animation more than any other grouping of people. Black people are the number one most experimented people in the case of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we're going to have internal hate based on not being able to be just human and exist. We got to be human in a circus and always be either a clown or the ringleader in order to survive.
Yeah.
Right. That's the crazy part.
Right.
So
Yes.
when we look at other avenues that are not based on societal's way of making money, then people always want to look at you or look down upon you because of that fact. Dancing is
Yes.
a legitimate legal hustle. And you know why? Because I got about 10 girls right now that are walking around with LLCs and they understand what the business of dancing is all about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, a lot of girls make money hand over fist in their hand, but they don't understand that being an entrepreneur means that you're going to get your money in your hand. You're not going to get it in a paycheck.
Hmm.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
shame.
I was told a little bit about you, and I want to talk to you on the back end, but I know that you work in law enforcement, right?
Yes, sir. I've been in law
Okay.
enforcement 26 years, brother, on all
Okay.
different levels: policing, corrections, warrant unit. Now I'm an agent through the
Okay.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
So, and when I was told that you helped a lot of girls get away from pimps and blackmailers and
Oh
things of
yeah,
that
oh
nature.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I have a mother, I have a
Hmm.
sister, and I have a daughter. I have women in my family. And the one thing is this, is that I truly believe and was taught by my mother, because you're born a girl doesn't mean you're a victim. You're a
Mm.
victim
Yeah.
of your choices, yes, but you're not a victim based on your gender. And the thing
Hmm.
of it is that the power that men have over women is the power of persuasion. And this is what pimps use. They use the power of persuasion with a little bit of force for you to give up the right to be you as a woman and what you have and what you can offer to another person.
Hmm.
Me and
You know,
Star was.
I wanted to bring that up tonight too. So I'm glad you said that, Brian, because one of the things that I was having an issue with myself being out there is that I'm a money maker naturally and I'm very, very good at making money. But I used to have men that would throw they would throw monkey wrenches in front of my feet, whether I'm making money dancing or working a job or in a career or whatever. I'm just a go-getter with everything that I do. I'm like an octopus. I could do anything. But I've had a lot of men that would throw monkey wrenches in between whatever it is I'm trying to do because they don't want me to make money because they want me to need them. Now, I don't want to need a man that forces me to need him. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like if you're forcing me to need you, then that's kind of, to me, that's a smack in my face. Let
Well,
me need you or
that goes against the pimp model anyway. A pimp does
gotcha.
not want a woman to be forced to need him. See, the thing
Right.
is this: a pimp wants a woman that's already in need of someone. They just fill
Right.
that void. Understand
Right.
the pimp game. The pimp game is about persuasion first. When I can
Yeah.
Right.
persuade you to come on, it's one thing to grab you by your arm and snatch you. It's another thing to persuade you by putting my arm on your shoulder and walking gently with you. Because I got to
Hmm.
build that trust in you as a pimp first. Because
Right.
how would I get everything that you make all night long if you didn't trust me 100%?
Damn.
Right.
So the
And you know
reality of
what,
it
too?
is this. Let's understand, but see, this is where a lot of people don't understand the pimp game and what it's all about. The pimp game is
Hmm.
about resources. It's about
Right.
understanding. See, that pimp is only going to spend your money on you. That's
Hmm.
the game. That's the capper of
Hmm.
of real pimp. I won't say real because there's no such thing. It's people that play the part, and there's some people that live the part. The one thing about
Right.
a pimp that lives the part always had some way of hustling, even if it wasn't girls. But
Right. Because even the
the
conscious
new
community
wave,
to me pimp cycle as
right? The
well.
new
That's
wave
why
pimp. Well, see, you gotta put all the trappings out there. How you gonna get the trappings if you don't already have it? Women get attracted to shiny things. So I
right.
gotta have the shiniest things in order you feel like and know that I'm a successful dude. That's what
That's
makes
a
you
fact.
come into my camp. I got
Right.
to take you to
And
the crib,
and I
not the
feel
trap house, the crib that I'm chilling with one of my bottoms, and I'm taking you there to show you how you could live. But I'm taking you straight back to the trap until you prove that you can make that money for me. You see the
absolutely. And
Yeah,
you
you
know
gotta.
what too? You know what too? I feel like the conscious community is like that too, but in a different
Oh,
sense.
it's
That's
like that
why
on
I
YouTube
that's
right
one of the
now.
reasons
That's
why I
that's
chose you.
that's blackmail going on YouTube right now. You know, so
Mm,
Well,
you see
I'm
that?
gonna
Yeah.
say like Instagram, all of these Instagram models, right? All these little Instagram girls on here, right? They
hmm
flaunting their money and all of that. They're right for
hmm
that type stuff. You know why? Because a lot of
Why?
them are not deep rooted in their own personal self-esteem. Because
Mm,
Instagram has given them their esteem. But
Yes,
gotcha.
this is
Instagram can be
true.
taken. Remember,
I've been trying to say this all the time.
you think
That's why I
about
don't
you
take
Good.
think
exception.
about when they was about to change OnlyFans, right? When they was about to
Hmm
disconnect OnlyFans, how many people lost their mind? Because they
Mm,
wouldn't have gotten their weight up if it wasn't for OnlyFans.
gotcha. Mm.
So
And
let's
there's nothing wrong with it. That's what you need, right?
yes, but see the thing of it is this. Any hustler, flat foot hustler, right? A flat foot
Hmm
hustler can take something out of absolutely nothing. A
hmm
situational hustler needs situations in order to build something. If no
Gotcha.
situations show themselves, then they're not building. They're falling
Mm,
under.
Mm-hmm.
A
right.
flat foot hustler, listen, when I was a young buck, before I got into law enforcement or thought about any of that, I'm a smooth. Listen, I can talk any woman into doing anything that I want to if you give me long enough. But that wasn't my angle. My angle was this. I understand all of the trappings in life, and my whole aspect was, boo, you need to know. It's already a mystery between men and women. And if I can give you an understanding of how to safeguard yourself from those mysteries that you're still guessing on, then I've done what I could do consciously from my heart. That's how I saved
Hmm
a lot of women. I didn't break the man code or the guy code. What I did was I empowered these women with knowledge that was not given to them by their fathers or their uncles or their brothers. But I
hmm
gave it to them with no strings attached because I wasn't trying to get in their pants when I was talking to them. So it gave me the opportunity to speak more freely because I didn't have no ulterior motive.
You're just like Octavius, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Octavius,
Me and you are like
he's
the
like your
same. Yeah,
y'all
I've
like
helped.
y'all are
I
exact.
helped.
That's
Mhm.
why I invited him to the show, Octavius, because I
Yeah, he's
promise
just an
you,
older,
like,
wiser version of me.
but
way
this
way
goes
wiser. Yeah.
our show is proven there are black men out here that are protecting black women, and us black women, we are ignoring them too much. And I'm telling you right now, when my brand gets viral, I don't know about our brand, but when if Starmarie gets viral, I'm going to advocate for my black men because I'm so freaking sick and tired of these shiny ass no good pimps making the good black man look like crap and blaming it on the white man. And it's
Yeah.
not the white man. It's our own people, the men that don't want to do nothing, that want to use women, that want to put women in situations where they can't fend for themselves and need them so they could play bum games on them. And they make black men like you and Brian and other black men like Lauren's dad and my dad look like crap. And I'm tired
But
of it.
Star, understand one thing. What did I say in the beginning of my conversation? The stereotypes, right? What we
Mm-hmm.
have to understand is that me and Octavius, we're real people. We're not no stereotypical dudes. So the thing of it is are you going to believe the stereotypes that's out there? All men ain't shit. Black men ain't worth it. This and that. Or are you going to believe me and Octavius? See, what it comes down to
Well,
is the balance of what a woman is willing to believe. Stop accentuating on the negative, and me and
Exactly.
Octavius will have a better life out here by being who we are.
Yeah.
Right. And then what's sad is that women nowadays, especially the younger girls, if a man says he has a job, she don't want him. She think he a bum. I'm like, what the hell? He got a job. I don't want him. Huh?
Yeah.
What the hell is internet doing to you people? You
Because
don't want him because he has a 9 to 5?
right, because you know why? Because a lot of women feel as though those type of women feel as though because his money comes so slow and doesn't come as often as a trapper's money, that I can't live the best life that I want to live because they're living through somebody else's pockets.
But see, the thing about it is, and this is what I want to say, and let me just say this, both Brian and without cutting me off. Those women that are gold diggers, all they're doing is attracting a pimp to them. These guys, what they do is they use other women, rent cars, impress these girls, and after they get them in there, thinking that they got so much money, next thing you know, she's in somebody else's house pulling her pants down and selling ass for him. This is how they get you. They don't really have real money. It's just temporary. They're showing you cars that they don't own. They're showing you money from other women that they use, and they're telling you they sell drugs. And then when they get you in there for 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, then you end up being their bottom bitch. And then they run the same game on the next woman. That's why I tell girls, stop going out there being gold diggers, because being a gold digger is not getting you anywhere fast. You're being a gold digger and you're attracting a pimp to yourself. I
Yeah.
would never be a gold digger ever, because I know that gold digging shit that don't do nothing but attract a fake ass nigga that don't really got no real money. It's temporary. Then he gets me all in love, get me all soaking wet, get me all open, and then next thing you know, I end up taking care of him after my heart is all entangled in that shit.
Yeah. They use your avarice and love for money against you. You know, that's how you manipulate
Yes.
a person. So
Thank y'all. That's why I need men
in order to
because I didn't even know
con
how to say that.
someone, you got to have that person feel like they're gonna con you first. So the avarice that you have for money
True.
and wealth and power will will actually is part of the con game that's ran by pimps and manipulators to get the gold digger in the first place.
Well, just
Yes.
look at a person that's living a fast life. Let's take the pimp situation out of it, right? You
Yeah.
have regular guys that do pimp related stuff because of the fast lifestyle that they're living. But the realities are is this: is it based on the pimp, or is it based on the person that's listening to the pimp? Somebody has to take some type of power move outside of
Ability.
being a victim.
Yeah, somebody has to take accountability, and
Yeah,
Digging and not gold.
it's
yes, it comes down to that. And a lot of the ladies that I used to talk to in my club, they used to come there and be hiding from their pimps or whatever the case may be. And I used to tell them all the time, so listen, baby, why is it that you not mastered the art of taking care of yourself? You got to master
mm,
that art first. Because a pimp would
true.
not even have any space in your heart or your mind
Power.
if
Yeah,
you
come
already knew how to
on.
take care of yourself.
This is true.
It's
Yeah.
called
That's why.
empowerment.
That's,
You
Always
know what? I got
advocate
called
to
a
my
male
sisters.
chauvinist. I got to call the male
I always
chauvinist because I told a woman she has to take her power back. Said, wow, I see why now. I see why
Yeah.
you call me a male chauvinist for me telling you to take your power back because you're helpless.
I thought I okay, so and I want to tell y'all this too. I got about 4 millionaires, 4 millionaires that I know for a fact they're millionaires on my Instagram page. They're my friends. I would never say their names because they don't want people to be millionaire. They have 200 friends, 80 friends. They don't even have 10,000
this is
followers,
true.
and their
This
page
is
is so
true.
not shiny. Their page is not shiny,
Mm-hmm.
and these are millionaires with wives, boats. They got jet skis. They got helicopters. These men own. One friend of mine right now. He owns 2 helicopters. He owns a Wraith. He has a Lambo. He only got like 200 followers on his Instagram, and he's has a Honda Accord on there. You don't even know
I'm so
it.
glad you said that though. I'm so glad you said
This
that
is
though because
real,
that's a
Lauren. This
true
is real,
fact.
people.
That's
Ladies,
real.
stop being a gold digger because you're attracting a pimp to yourself. You're not attracting no real good
This
men.
is
Don't
true.
millionaire men are smart. They know a bitch is a gold digger and they not gonna fuck with you. Millionaire
This is
men,
true. This is
businessmen
why
are
this is
smart.
really why
They
I'm
Oh,
not
not
that's
fucking
dating.
yeah.
with your
This is really why I choose not to date because I feel like the men that I attract because of me dancing, I had this stripper aura about me or something like that, and I feel like that the men smell it on me or whatever. So I feel like it's like the ones that I attract, they have those tendencies, those yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
We got a question from the chat. Somebody want to know what is trapper
Come on.
money.
trapper money is real easy. I mean, the thing is
A
this:
hustler.
whether it's through
Oh,
drugs,
that's my
whether it's through
mother.
other
That's
things.
my mom. What is trapper money?
let
Yo,
me
That's my
go with
mother.
that.
trapper money could be sneaker money because you got a lot of people that buy sneakers now at $100 and sell them for $1,000. So trapper
Yeah.
money could be any money that is based on a profit margin that is outside the realm of working through a W-2 or a W-4.
All right, you gotta
Gotcha.
put it in English for the. All right,
Well,
you gotta
listen,
say
Hmm.
it in English.
Pretty much
I'm
a
a, that,
hustler money, man.
that, I mean, listen, you can't get no more English than filling out an application. A person that fills out an application
Okay.
and goes build somebody else's dream is not a trapper.
Well,
No. Nope.
Cardi B. I
Nope.
wanted to read that.
You want to what?
I wanted to read
Your phone is breaking up a
that
little bit.
comment, but I want to take a second and say hi.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
now we
Can you hear
can.
me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now? All right.
Cardi
yeah.
So
B
can we
with
take a
trap
second
man.
and just say hi? Can we say hi, Lady T? Hi. Can we say hi to Lady T?
I don't understand
Can we
why
just
this
say
Oh,
girl
hi to
always
Lady
gets
T?
brought up on my platform, but I never get brought up on her platforms.
hey,
Listen, Lauren. I don't understand why this lady gets brought up on all of my platforms, but I never get brought up on her platform. See, don't let them sneak in and promote her
Who
on
you
my
talking?
shit. Cause she don't promote me on hers.
Who you talking about? Who you talking about?
Who?
Somebody who brought, I don't know why she gets brought.
nah,
No, not
it's
you.
not
You
a big deal. Don't worry about it.
No, time out.
I guess people wanted to ask the
If
question,
you're
go
but
ahead,
talking
you
go
know,
about
ahead, Lauren. Go ahead, forget
Soul
it. Go ahead,
Shine,
Lauren.
yeah, yeah.
Soul Shine Sessions, the one who said, "What is
Mm-hmm.
trapper money?" That's my mom.
Yeah, gotcha.
No, it's probably the
Okay.
person that asked about Cardi B or said
Oh,
something
about
about
Cardi
Cardi B.
B. Okay. Okay,
Right.
about Cardi B. Okay. Oh, all right.
Well, that's
Well, I
something.
mean,
That's something that she
Okay.
said. But I'll let you answer, Brian.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go in, Lauren. It's cool.
I
I'm
don't.
not. It's all
I
good.
was trying to read the. I was actually trying to read the comment. Is there a way we can? You can. Octavius, can you read the comment?
Yeah.
Right there.
You can read it.
Yeah. Well,
Cardi
Cardi B
B
stated she
You
with
went
Trap Man.
and robbed them, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone acted like they didn't hear that.
Well, I mean, that's part
Oh.
of some dancers have that mentality. They do that. Some drug men, some do whatever they do. That's always
But
been
you know
that's
what?
always
Because
been
be
the
one of
case.
those, yeah. Because it's a true statement. That's why it's a true statement, and we can't do anything about it because that's
No, you breaking
her
up, Lauren.
character. And
Yeah,
we can't
your
do anything
phone broke up
about
a
that.
little bit, baby. But the thing is this: what is done in the aspect of dancing? That's not part of dancing. That's part of some other stuff. That's some goon squad shit.
Mm-hmm.
That don't have nothing to do with dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing is the mask. It's the 52 fake out that's used to get these men in vulnerable positions. And it's
Yeah.
usually guys that, just come to the club and just want to have a good time and then they get taken.
They get
That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Right.
seduced. It's seduced. You get
Yeah,
seduced.
because
But you know
listen,
what?
they
They
yearning to be close to a
they
young
want it
woman
though.
that's sexy. That's all. Listen, I know so many brothers that used to come back to the club. It's like, yo, you know that dancer? I'm like, what dancer you talking about? Oh man, she stole my wallet, she stole my gun, and all the time, bro.
Yeah,
Listen,
Yeah, because it's a
it
thing.
happen a lot. Just like I
It
yeah.
happens
tell
a lot.
them, and
No,
I tell
Bring
everybody else,
when I
listen.
was younger and I used to go to the club, I would actually put my money in. I wear long socks and put my money in the sock. I didn't even
yes.
use my.
And that's
Okay, we
very
got
smart
misunderstood.
because
She's living that
it's very
lifestyle
smart.
right now, and she's currently trying to fight drug addiction. And I think you guys can
Right.
give her
Mm-hmm.
some advice. So I'm gonna bring on.
Okay.
How you
Hey,
doing, misunderstood?
Star, you
How
remember
you
Hey,
when
doing?
we was
I'm so
talking
misunderstood.
sorry.
first?
Hold on. Hold
I
on.
have
Hold on.
not
Hold
been on
on. Hold
my
on. Hold on.
computer for a
Hold on.
minute.
Hold on.
So
Hold on.
Uh, uh,
Lauren, wait. Hop, what was you asking me?
I said, remember what we was talking about earlier? You know what I'm saying? In reference to some of the things, the topics that we were talking about here. And it all comes
Yes,
down to an understanding of knowing the element that you're involved in, or at
yes.
least getting educated to it. This stuff can happen
Mm-hmm.
because you have different intentions in mind. Everybody's not an entertainer. Some people are
Right.
schemers. A lot of these girls are schemers.
Mm-hmm.
Each dancer knows who's a schemer, who's a trap artist,
Mm-hmm.
who's all of the above. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the ones that they steal their outfits, they steal their shoes, they steal,
Mm-hmm.
their money
He no
bags and all
game.
this other stuff.
He trying to tell
And
you.
and I just want to
So
add
I
something
know.
before misunderstood comes in here, and before Lauren and her go in. I want to add this because I really want to add this to the internet, because I just want to say this. As a Christian, we love. God teaches us love, to love everyone. So this is what I'm going to say. It might be out of left field, but somebody might want to hear this in this live, because everybody has their own feeling, their own thoughts. Number one, you do have some people out here that have sex addictions. Just like you could be addicted to
Yeah.
heroin, just like you could be addicted to crack, you may have a sex addiction. You actually have men and women out here who can't get sex, to save their life. So if they can't buy sex, they will kill themselves. So there's nothing wrong with a person having a noble career path or doing something noble for society if that's what they're going to do. My issue is the griminess, hurting somebody and trying to kill somebody because they're making money that you're not making, or you want to take a shortcut and you feel like they're getting it too easy. That's where I have a problem when it comes to that world. When it comes to the stripping world and when it comes to the conscious community world, it's too much trying to compete where you don't compare. Don't try to compete where you don't compare. Just get out there and get your money. If you making $10 a day and that's what you're good at, you're no different or no better or no worse than somebody who can make $1,000 a day. Be you. The rest is already fucking taken, bitch. That's it.
Yeah. I mean that in and of itself is from a person that understands the opposite side. The problem, what it comes down to, especially when it comes down to women, and what I've noticed, that what we spoke about earlier, women don't know how to compete with each other without trying to rip each other's hearts out. See, my weave and
Right.
your weave, it's still weave. It don't
Yeah.
matter whether it got put
Right.
in with the tracks over top or not. It's still weave. But
I
the
can
thing is,
see.
Nobody
oh, my
Let me
have
weave
cut
is
you
a
better.
off.
pissing contest. I'm not trying to have a pissing contest with nobody, no matter where I'm at or what world I'm in. I don't want to have a pissing contest with you while I'm trying to get money to feed my fucking family. If you want
But
to
Okay.
learn
that
some
that
So,
game, I'll share with you. You don't gotta steal. You don't gotta steal me. You don't gotta mimic me. You don't have to copy me and then play me. If you want some game, I'm a Christian woman. Nature collaborates. We don't compete. God wants you to share. I don't have a problem with it. But here's the thing: people think they're stealing from me. But if you don't have discipline, if you don't have the discipline that I have, you won't have the tenacity to keep up what I'm doing. So what happens is you come in like the devil, stealing what you think you can from me, and I let you have it because a God-fearing individual will say, you know what, you won, you got it here. I lost, no problem. And then you win what you took, and then you can't even keep it up because you're not qualified for my blessing, bitch. Now you're
but
mad at me, and your whole team is mad at me because you
but that's
stole what wasn't yours, and you can't even
all
keep
right.
it up. You can't even keep it up.
Well, we
Star.
addressed we addressed that part. But
so
we got
we're
somebody here that needs some help and some advice.
misunderstood. Come
Yeah.
on through.
So, how you doing, misunderstood, Nicole?
I'm good. I'm listening in. I'm taking in. I was actually listening before I said hello, and I just thought, why not speak? But yeah, I'm listening in, and I get
Oh, Lauren just jumped
most
up.
most of what you guys are saying. I kind of got lost in the last point, but it's all right. I'm getting most of it,
Well, first of all,
and I
let's
definitely wanted to
let's
show my
Let her.
support because
I'm
let's
sorry.
break down something in reference to what your concerns are.
I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
We
can
was
hear you
Yep.
looking for
good
you. I
now.
was about to tell
yeah,
Lauren.
Okay, because I was
Misunderstood.
trying
Are
to
you
put the
still there?
misunderstood all this
Yeah,
time.
I'm here.
yeah,
I'm here. I'm just listening.
Okay.
No. What we're trying to ascertain from you is what is some of the issues that you may want to get some suggestions on, or maybe some other options on.
Well, I was just like I said, I just got lost on the last point, but I'm here. Most of the stuff that you guys were talking about, I'm totally in agreement with. Like, I get it. I've been pretty open about my life, my life stuff that I'm going through. So I never mind anyone uh, talking about that. I just, yeah, I just wanted to show my support though, also.
Oh, we want to hear
Okay.
your
Yeah,
story though.
yeah.
I
I
think
know
Well,
we misunderstood
she's going
about you.
through rehab right now, and she's also had some issues online with people trying to mess with her, and
Well, take
hamper
our
her too.
number, girl. Take me and Lauren number, and you
And
got a support
Brian's
system
here
over
for you
here.
too if you need any help with anybody that's
Mm-hmm.
uh, trying to hustle you. But
see the main,
Yeah,
the
I'm
main.
not as good with Restream. I'm trying. I have Restream as well, but I don't
mm,
use it as much. So I'm trying to navigate my way through it. I can tell you though, some of the stuff online. I took a big hit. I feel like kind of some of the stuff Octavius you were going through, I kind of went through as well. On top of trying to deal with the addiction and everything else, I kind of felt, I'm so open about stuff. I really don't like seeing such negativity online, and the last this last time, a lot of things that happened publicly. If some of you know, some of you don't, I don't know. I'm still kind of choked up about a lot of it. So if I don't seem as articulate or if I'm not making sense, it's kind of why I feel kind of hurt by some of the stuff that happened publicly, and you know
mhm.
Well, I mean,
this
understand your
last relapse.
story
I'm
is.
gonna say oh I am I'm gonna say this again for those of you that have not heard it. I am very sorry for the last time that I relapsed, but for those of you that don't know my channel, I talk about what is it like in the early stages of sobriety. I never said that I was on the other end of it. That was the difference in my channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about what I'm going through right now.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I understand some of the anger, but please know that when it comes to addiction, this is what you go through. And I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but it is something that I go through.
Well, that's a greater source of the battle. I used to do addiction counseling in the prison system. What it comes down to is this: understanding and knowing what your weaknesses are, your triggers are, and other things that cause you to use any type of other substance to create a solution for a problem that you haven't already solved. You have to
Yep.
understand that addiction is usually a temporary problem solver. The problem solving has to be when you're sober and have a clear mind to get rid of the
Mm-hmm.
problem. So most addicts don't really understand because the substance has taken over their critical mass thinking.
Yes,
So
and
when you get
also
when you get to that understanding, then that is something that you have to start to learn a new way of doing things. You're going to reinvent yourself, and that's what you have to do.
I feel like
also
everything that
Miss.
you're going through.
Also,
I feel like. Can I say something to her? I feel like
go
everything
ahead,
that you're
Lauren.
going, everything you're going through is creating you. Like you said, you have like a
Yeah.
channel that you have that you basically speak on, and and you have people watching you. So basically, all of this is creating you for real, for real. So don't think that everything that you're going through is for nothing. And I know it's hard, but this is you're gonna be proud of yourself
Yes.
because this is a story for you, and it's really
Yeah.
commendable for you to even realize that you even have a problem and that you're vocal about it because a lot of people keep this
Yes.
in denial. A lot of people still fighting this demon and they're like 60 something years old, still going in and out of rehab. So you learn from
Yes.
them.
And I want to add this too, misunderstood. This is for you. The place that you're in right now, I actually was in that place. So I know exactly where you're at. Trust me. Believe me when I tell you, I have complete empathy for you because I know exactly where you're at. I can hear the texture of your voice and what you're saying. So I went to Drug and Alcohol Anonymous, even though I wasn't a drug addict for 2 years. And what my counselor had told me, and I had to go, it was mandatory for me because I was dealing with mental health myself. So one of the things that my counselor had told me, and it worked for me, and I could give this to you too, is take a pad and a paper, carry it with you, and everything that triggers you to anger or triggers you to emotions or triggers you to bad thoughts, write it on a piece of paper, write it down. And then you look at that paper every day. And when you go through your life, You have to change the paradigm of what's triggering you. If you know that this triggers you, cut it off. Even if it hurts you, cut it off. Don't go that way. Go over there. Go the opposite direction of what you think hurts you. People tell you, oh no, you're running away. You're just running away from problems. No, you tell them, I'm not running away from problems. I'm running towards life. I'm not running away from nothing. I'm running towards my life. That right there is making me want to take drugs. That right there is making me upset. That right there is making me sad. That right there is making me feel insecure. I don't want it. And you have to really put it in your head. It's hard to do at first, but with practice, I'm telling you, honey, look at your glass as half full and not half empty. Because I promise you, if you
Right.
practice walking away from things that trigger your negative emotions, sooner or later they will disappear from your life, and then you'll have what you call tunnel vision. And once you have tunnel vision, you become one with your higher self. And when you become one with your higher self, you can do things that you never thought you could do, and then that's when God really shows himself in your life. And I'm just like Lauren, she said, I didn't believe in God. My mama and my daddy can tell you. I have problems with my parents because I didn't believe in God myself. I was running around in the conscious community talking about I am God, I am Yamaya, I am Mama, I am this. No, the hell I'm fucking not. God comes in your life when you become whole. And the only way you can come whole is that you have to identify what is breaking you. And sometimes with all the stuff, like all the internet and all the 5D and all the TV and all the outside influences, it could mess up, jar your memory and mess up your brains and mess up your mentality. But if you take that pen and you put it on that paper, that will remind you. That will remind you when you forget. That will remind yourself when you forget what it is that's hurting you. But you have to really want to be better, because you have some people that they can't go through life without a little bit of toxic. It's boring to them. They're bored at peace. They're bored being happy. So you have to decipher whether you're a person who likes to be happy or you're a person who likes to be miserable, because there are two type of people on this planet, the miserable and the happy. So you have to separate. You have to make that choice too.
Hey, Star.
You're right.
What?
Yes?
Before
Star.
anybody go forward, let me say this. If you're in the chat, please subscribe and like. Let's get it up. So we can spread this message, guys. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. But go ahead, sir.
What I want to tell you, sweetheart, is this. This is the drill. Don't be afraid to take advice from somebody who never was in your shoes. See, because what you're
Yes.
trying to do is you're trying to get to a position of being in those shoes that they have lived without having those issues. So I used to tell my inmates all the time, say, listen, they tell me all the time, Hop, you ain't never been locked up. Hop, you ain't never been on drugs. You never did this. I said, well, listen, if I never did it and you're trying to be where I'm at, don't you think I'm more of a perfectionist at doing what I do than you are doing what you're doing? Because if you're trying to
Yes.
get away from the situation that you're doing, then you're trying to get to where I am. So don't be afraid to take information from people that don't have the same history as you. That would be my suggestion to you, is because some of us that have lived on the outside of all of this have a
Mm-hmm.
helicopter view of things. Sometimes
Yes.
you don't need to be in the weeds in order to give the best advice. So all I'm going to
Okay.
tell you is this. In your recovery, understand and know that it's a day by day situation. It's not something that takes chunks of time, because you're going to look in the rear view mirror and you're going to see where the time went. Understand that the windshield is bigger for a reason, because it gives you the
Mm-hmm.
maximum value of vision and where you can go. Don't live your life in the rear view mirror or in the back window, because it's much smaller. So
Yes.
just understand that. And when people don't believe you, they don't believe you because they're only used to what they're used to seeing of you based on the last time they saw you. Your growth is
Mm-hmm.
going to be your personal growth. Some people are not going to understand how far you've grown in your recovery because they didn't see you for months. Try not to hold
Right.
it against them. Just understand and know there's going to be limitations to people that are going to not be used to the new you. But okay,
Okay.
you're going to have to shed some of that dead weight because you're not the old person anymore.
No.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I wanted to add something. I'm really glad you said that, because you did say something that I do believe in a lot, and that's when you said, somebody doesn't have to go through what you went through to give you advice. And I really wanted to hit on that because I think that sometimes when someone's talking to us, it's quick where it's easy to say, hey, you haven't been through what I've been through. But I like that you acknowledge the fact that you don't have to go through what another person has gone through to be able to see from the outside and say, hey, you're doing something wrong, or let me suggest this. And I really think that you made a very valid point there. And I thank you for saying that. I totally believe in that. And I think that sometimes when a person hasn't been through addiction, it's nice to listen to them because their brains are clear. So you're
Yeah.
not
Well,
sharing something from
that's
experience.
right.
You're
We look at things from a different lens. You need
right,
as
right.
many glasses as you can put into your backpack. You know why? Because each of them have a different magnification of what it is going to be best for you. So the thing is this: I don't need to be a weed smoker in order to know that I know people that are trying to get away from smoking weed. I don't need to be that. But what I can tell them is this: in your aspect of smoking weed, when did it go wrong? When did it not feel good to you anymore? So my analyzation is on a different level, and it's from a different perspective. It's not like I used to tell all my guys, like, I don't need to be locked up in a jail cell. I'm already counting you in your jail cell. I have a different uniform on, but I'm in the same institution that you're in. How can you tell me I don't know what it's like to bid when I'm just bidding on the other side of the door? Sometimes people can sideline you and know exactly what you're going through because they can see it. I'm not Stevie Wonder. I'm not Ray Charles. I can see. So the thing is, if I'm looking at your pain, I'm looking at your suffering, and I'm saying all she had to do was this, and this, that's in my mind. That's never going to be in your mind, or maybe in somebody's mind that took the same route you took. That's why I say all the time, don't discount the message for the messenger, because sometimes you kill your blessing by not agreeing with how the message was given to you. Remember, God is going to put people in your life for different ways, reasons, and sometimes you're not going to be able to really understand until you have time to reflect and think. That's what it comes down to for me.
I agree with you 100%. I know one of my mistakes I did make, I'm going to say, is that I didn't take, when I would relapse, I took it as, oh, you know what? Let me just get back on track. It's another relapse. And I kind of never thought of, how about we not have these relapses? It sounds so simple, but yeah, I kind of, I didn't, I'm not going to say I didn't take it seriously. I kind of allowed myself to have them because I would tell myself that I could just get
Did
back
you hear
up.
me? Let me
And
unmute myself.
Well, I mean, you have to tell yourself many things. And the one thing that you have to tell yourself is that you're good enough to be a new person. Your name is still going to be the same. Your body is still going to be the same, hopefully much healthier, but you're going to be a new person in terms of your outlook, in terms of how you view yourself. When you look in the mirror and you strip all your clothes off, do you love the new person that you're seeing? That's the point of aspects, or the ritualistic aspect that you have to start getting to at this point, because what it comes down to is this: if you weren't trying to run away from this, you would be looking in the mirror and saying what you're looking at is okay. You're not looking in the mirror saying it's okay. So now you have to really know and get to knowing by speaking to other people, and you know inquiring and doing other workshops, is to get to value of who you can be and what the new you looks like. That's what it comes down to.
And that's true. Can I intercept for a second?
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Lauren.
baby, bring it in.
Okay. I wanted to say something to you about relapse, right? Relapse is like, it's hard. People don't realize how fast and how easy it can happen. And once you realize, like she said, once you realize your triggers, you're more susceptible not to relapse. Like, I had to write down all my triggers when I was in rehab, and I had to figure it out. And I figured out one of my triggers was somebody basically being sad, or somebody telling me that I did something I didn't do. Like, all these emotions will, might make me feel upset and make me want to use. So what am I going to do? You want to you want to cope. You have to figure out and analyze what you're going through so that you don't go through it again. Like, what do these feelings I'm
Yes.
feeling? And realize your emotions only stay for that moment. Like, So you don't make a decision based off your emotions. And I know that's what that's usually how relapse happen. I relapsed I never used dope ever again, but I took a Percocet once when I had to get all of my teeth removed. And I took a Percocet because I was in pain. But I realized
Mm-hmm.
when I did it how it made me feel. I didn't like that feeling anymore. I felt like I cheated myself because I felt like I came all this way and I put myself in a program. I go to this program called Work Your Health. It's an app. It's on the phone because I want to keep myself monitored because I know I
Yes.
am an addict at the end of the day. I cannot change that about myself.
Yes.
There is no going back. You introduce yourself to a substance now that your body wants to depend off of, and it's looking for it every time you're sad, every time you happy, every time you want. So you gotta remember,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta realize what you're going through so that you don't keep going making the same mistakes. Put yourself in a
And Lauren,
program after you come home
and
from
Lauren,
rehab. Don't. I'm sorry, but you have to be on this. You gotta stay. You have to be on yourself. Like you have to start caring about you. You can't care. You have
yes,
to care about. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and Lauren, I want to add to you. I want to add to you. I'm gonna piggyback on you, and I'm gonna tell you this in front of everybody. I want to say thank you to you for keeping me off drugs. See, I had a friend who used drugs that encouraged me not to take drugs. When Lauren was getting high, Lauren, what did you always tell me? Never do this, Star. This is
Yep.
crazy, right?
No, nope, not for
See,
you.
Mm.
I had a friend that was down bad, and this
I tell all
girl
my girlfriends, I
encouraged
tell
me
all my
not to get
girlfriends
high.
that
Like, Star, you are better than this.
because
We
it's
both.
on your
Mm-hmm.
somebody's life is on your hands once you offer them drugs, but people don't really understand this. I don't care if you think it's a good time or not. Your
I
life
love
is
you,
now
Lauren.
in
I
my
love you, girl.
hands. I cannot. I got a girlfriend that I dropped a dope bag in her bathroom, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed of it. And she came to me and she said, "You know what, Lauren? You don't have to go into the bathroom to do it. You could do it right here." I'm like, "You don't have to. I don't want ever want you to ever do that." And I was so embarrassed of myself, but she was so open that she didn't want me to feel embarrassed. And by me exposing those drugs in her to her, she was now curious. And then she started using. And you know what? Now she's clean because I stayed on her ass. I forgive me, but I'm being real. I stayed on her. I said, listen, I can't, you're I can't have
A
what
drug
happened to
user tell
you.
you better how to
Have,
take drugs.
yeah, no. So you gotta
Mm-hmm.
be if you got friends and you around people and you gotta think about this. When people be like, you share your perks and all that. No, no, no. Because now you gotta think about it now. Because I think about the person who introduced me to dope. I do. I think about him every day because he was my brother friend.
Mm-hmm.
So these people don't. It never leaves your mind. Think about it. Your life is in somebody's hands.
Can I say something real quick? The thing of it is this: in any of this situation, right? That we say substance abuse, drug abuse. First of all, you can't abuse something that's going to outlast you. You have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that you're the X factor in this. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
expire before the drug does. So
This
when
is
you
true.
understand that concept, then you understand the aspect of saving yourself before the drug does what it's designed to do, and that's take you out of here. Because your body only has limited resources in terms of dealing with the toxins that you're going to put into your system. So you got to say to yourself, all right, in order to save myself, I got to understand that I can't abuse something that is an inanimate object. You know what I mean? Powder, heroin, all of that is an inanimate object. I deal with it every weekend on my patrol. And I deal with
Mm-hmm.
nothing but addicts on my patrol. And I tell them all the time, I said, you can be out here for 10 years. That's 10 years that you actually escape the avenue of the substance tearing you up. But you only now have 10 more years. So the reality of it is in the fact of you saving yourself, just understand and know that you're more important than an inanimate substance. And just keep saying to yourself, I'm a human. I'm a person that feels. I'm here for a purpose. When you start to understand and realize what that purpose is based on soul searching and the invert aspect of what you feel for yourself, then you'll start to see how important you truly are. I don't know if you have children, but trust and believe you touch somebody's heart in any condition that you're in. But imagine touching somebody's heart when you're in the best condition that you can be in. That's what it comes down to.
Wow, that was pretty powerful. I have 2 kids. You know, I wanted to say something though. When you guys do streams like this, I mean, there's a lot of times. I know I'm not the only one that listens from the clouds, you know, and don't say anything. And there just be things that I would hear. And I wanted to say to Angelica, I really appreciate her. There's times where she had no clue I was listening, or I would catch the replay, and just she's very strong, and there's just things that she would say that honestly would get me through another day. I don't mean to get very emotional on you all.
No,
But
what you mean don't mean to get. We need you to be emotional. We need for us to know that our interaction with you is going to give a positive influence. Don't mean to do nothing. Don't be apologizing on none of this stuff. You know why? Yeah. Because it's your life. You can't apologize for your life. You have to capture a new essence of who you are. And if that means crying, that means spilling your soul, that means taking that negative backpack off you've been walking around with, do it. Because guess what? Most of the people in this broadcast know exactly what you're going through. They've cried. They've thought about suicide. They've thought about a lot of things that may have been going through your head. Don't discount it for the fact that you're trying to be humble, sweetheart. Humble means that you put it all out there and regroup.
I think it's I think it's important us to kind of say that, you know, and I'm kind of one who like to express myself and what I'm feeling, and I'm telling you, there's days where I after this last relapse, and I don't mean to really bring it up a lot, but it was really public, and
just the truth.
There were so many people that would come into my life, and when I was under a substance, I used methamphetamines, for those of you that didn't know, and they would say they were my friends, and they created a lot of havoc into my life, and I really didn't feel like going on. And I gotta say, listening to you know, Angelica just made a lot of sense, a lot of tough love there, but just a lot of support and love, and I'm just really grateful for that. So she's still out there in the chat. I just want to say thank you. Lisa and I talk a lot. Lisa, I don't know if she's still out there, but I'm really grateful for these women. And with Angelica, there's such a situation I really couldn't deal with. I felt just kind of trapped and not strong enough to find my way out of it. And my intentions was taken wrong. And I just wanted to say that I heard her, and it made me want to keep going. And so I'm really grateful for these kind of chats, because I think addiction is the one disease that we get looked down upon for. You know, it's still, I don't mean to say it's a disease. I don't want to get into that kind of an argument, but I do want to say it's something that you need help with. And I am in a program. I'm doing certain things, but doing it in public can be a little hard. And there's people that sometimes will befriend you in your worst state, and then they put you in a situation where, well, I was put in a situation that was really difficult to get out of. So I'm really grateful that, you know, for a chance to come back and say, hey, you know what, I can be stronger, I can do better, and I can help make amends and maybe mend some of the friendships that I've lost. If not, then hopefully someone can learn from my life and say, hey, you know, this person
Sometimes
that's addicted to a substance, they're
right
not
now,
somebody to just throw away.
You got to build new ones. You got to build new ones, baby.
Right now, you got Lauren as a new friend. You got Star, and you got Brian and myself.
You got new friends.
Yes, you
got a new circle.
Yes,
a new circle. A person with cancer needs help. They can't get rid of cancer on their own. They need help. It's the same thing with any other disease out here. And cancer can have a remission period. So does addiction, has a remission period. But guess what? There's always a checkup system to make sure it doesn't come back. You just have to live your life understanding and knowing that you need help to get to that remission period. And you need some understanding and know that that remission period is based on all of you sticking to your script when you got to the remission period. So just understand one thing about all of this. You were born into this world by yourself. The bad part about it is that in order to be successful in this world, you have to create a network. That creates your net worth. When you're out here spilling your truth, that creates a network of people that ain't trying to use you. You know why? Because I can't use you virtually. If you keep me as a virtual friend, then you don't have to worry about me ever taking nothing from you. So the reality is now you have the qualified people that come into your circle outside of just the people that have your best interests at heart, and other than just understand and know when you get a clear head out of that addictive mode, you'll start to see things a lot different. Trust me. I've never been an addict, and I've had people use me. So therefore, even a sober mind or a sober person can get used. So just understand and know that your self-worth is going to be based on, one, how you view yourself. Your net worth is going to be directly related to your net worth. So therefore, sometimes you have to change the people that are around you because they don't have the coins to give you. And those coins are the aspirations and the inspiration and the level-headedness and no strings attached. Don't be afraid to expand your horizons. Sit.
Yeah, like Brian said, sometimes we gotta make new friends and new connections and
Good word.
move forward with
Good
our
word.
lives. We gotta a lot of times, like even when I had to deal with my weight loss, like about 17 years ago, I had to just renew my whole mind, you know, in every way. All the food I was consuming, my activities. The thing is, you gotta get rid of that self that is not yourself. You know what I mean? You got to realize that the drug addiction or whatever addiction it is not really you. You know what I mean? So in order to move forward, you got to be able to cut off a lot of the bad habits in the past and even the friends. You know what I mean, that you had in the past. You got to reinvent yourself.
Octavius, when you lost your weight, right, did you have to buy new clothes?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So what you do with your old clothes?
Gave them to the Goodwill.
See what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to understand and know that with any major change in your life, there's something that's going to have to be discarded. I went from 256 pounds, now I'm 190 pounds. So the thing is that my uniforms, my pants, and all the things that I had bulked up on, now guess what? They're useless. I had to sell myself on the fact that I had to even get a new bulletproof vest because my other one was too big. Something that saves my life, I had to change that because guess what? It would no longer save my life because it wouldn't fit me properly. You see the parallels that I'm talking about now?
Yeah. I think you cover your mic or something on your phone.
Oh, I don't know. It might be the way.
It sounds distant a little.
Yeah.
Sound better?
A little better. It's okay that we can make it through.
So basically what it comes down to is don't be afraid to shed the dead weight. Don't be afraid to understand and know that your new circumstances won't fit all of the old stuff. And when you lose weight, you get past cancer, you do all of these things, it requires a change in your life. And that change in your life is going to be something that you have to welcome and not be afraid of because that change is going to represent the new you. And if you're not representing the new you fully, then you're never going to be happy with yourself. Make sense to you? Hello?
Yeah, you there? I was talking to Star. She's having audio issues.
Oh,
Star. Look like what's going on with your connection is bad. I'm gonna drop you off and just
I like
hit the link.
that you're sober. I like hearing your points of view. I hope I interrupt you when you're talking, but I do like hearing what you have to say.
who are you talking to? Hello?
I didn't catch
we
your
got
name,
Star. We
but
got
you're the
Star
one
back right
showing
now.
your face.
His name Brian. Yeah, Brian. That's Brian.
Oh, Brian. Yeah, I'm Brian.
Brian, okay.
And
Can
Brian,
you
I
guys
just want to
still
say
hear
I'm
me?
glad that you came to this panel.
Man,
To
thanks
Nice
for
to meet you,
having me,
Brian.
brother.
I want to do an interview with you one on one. Pretty much do a whole show dedicated to you and your
Well,
experience in the streets and dealing with women and clubs
That is great.
and drug addiction because this is the kind of information that we need. Uh, this is the kind of information we need in these circles
it's a
that
unique
actually help people.
perspective because
Yeah,
I've been on both sides. I've been on the street side, I'm on the law enforcement side. So a lot of people, don't really have a balanced viewpoint of how to exist in society without knowing the intricacies of both sides. So Yeah, most definitely. I would love to be a part of that because I do a mentor program. I have a mentor program. I deal with single mothers and daughters. I also deal with a men's program, a rite of passage men's program. It's a lot of different things, man. In self help, the optimal word is self. You got to understand the value of you first before you can accept all of these outside sources and understand. So the end result comes down to if you can understand who you are to a certain degree. Because I can say, Octavius, be a good dude. You're going to be like, all right, whatever. But if I don't give you an understanding that I know something about your personality and where to start, you won't even have a clue of what I'm talking about. So people have to be a little more articulate. So,
Exactly.
and that's basically the forum in which I operate on. And I do it every day, brother. I'm a law enforcement officer, but I'm a person who likes to, see other people succeed in life. I've never been one of those people that felt threatened by somebody else's success because their success can pull me up another notch. So that's how I
Yeah, yeah,
roll.
most definitely. We have in conjunction with my life, we have in misunderstoods people. We have the treehouse that we have the treehouse also in the building, and like I was talking with Tasha, and she wants to, pick your brain on some things, um,
Most, yeah, most
and
definitely.
yeah, so we're gonna do a tandem live stream together, with you. But we'll talk behind the scenes, and I get started to start having some audio issues. I don't know what's going on, and yeah, Star's gonna be there too. Our people is we are all one right now. We all friends. And like I said to misunderstood, yeah, like it's just one of the things. Hold on. Yeah, this is just one of the things that we're gonna do to try to bring light to this community instead of darkness, instead of like people roasting and trying to beat you down. I've heard people say real bad things about you, and I know that can affect your self esteem, especially at such a fragile time. And I just want to say to you, and the reason why I left that particular individual, not to give him any press, was because of what happened with you. You know, and I don't get down with any form of even potential blackmail of any kind. So that's why I had to go my own way, and I'm glad you're here getting the help that I knew that you could get. And I just want to say, as a family over here at Octavius Prime Show and Brian, Lauren, Starmarie, we're your friends. And like we have Lauren, who have been through the fire,
Mhm.
who, like I said, I was talking to her about what you call in literature the hero's journey, where after the hero goes through their ordeal and to slay that dragon, which Lauren has done, they get the elixir, the understanding of what it takes to give to someone who is in need like yourself in order to become a better person, in order to heal from the ills that Lauren has been through. So, like I say, Lauren, like pretty much this story is pretty much dedicated to you. I'm having issues with Star, but with her audio, I don't know what's going on with that. But
Mhm.
Lauren, I'm gonna let you take the lead for now, and I want you to talk to Misunderstood one on one, and y'all have a Discord and see if we can work things out.
You know, I do feel bad about what you said. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
lie. I don't want. I'm treading lightly, but it made me. I feel a lot of guilt there. Like I really don't know what to say about that. It made just. I feel really bad about that whole situation. I'm not gonna lie. It's,
Yeah,
especially
I
if
mean,
I cause like division in any type of way. But I was. I felt like I was pretty forthcoming, and I don't understand really the whole situation. But I definitely didn't mean to cause any division. But it does. It that hurts pretty bad.
it's not your fault. You're just dealing with people that were a manipulator. You know what I'm saying? It's just what we come into, and we realize that these are what you call the YouTube streets, and you have hustlers and blackmailers and pimps even on this thing. So it's not your fault. You know what I mean? It's not. my fault for running into them either. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to feel any guilt for what the thing is. They are what they are. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So we're just moving forward right now. And we have a family right now that's going to actually help you get better, and others, and anyone else that's dealing with drug addiction. Um, we're going to help you out with that. We're going to have more shows. We're going to have Brian back. We're going to have Starmarie back. We're going to have Lauren back. I think Lauren just dropped off. And Star, can you hear me? Try to speak. Okay. Yeah, but if I can't get them back, hold up. I think she's back now. Star, can you hear me? Star.
She she should be on now.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know what's going on with her mic. Yeah, I think she's having some audio issues. But if anybody have any questions,
are
just
you
put it in the chat.
capable of muting anybody's microphone? Because
No, I'm
maybe
not. Yeah, I'm
okay,
not. Like I would see it on my end, and it's not showing that it's muted.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been on YouTube Live. I've been on Instagram and a few
Yeah.
others, but not. So I don't know what the features are on this because I never directed my own live on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Some Restream sometimes have issues with certain cell phones. So
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
yeah. But I'm gonna try to work it out with Star. But to be continued. So what I'll do for now, if anyone has any questions, you can either hit the link or you can put it in the chat, and we'll probably be live for the next 5 minutes. And I'm trying to see if Star's trying able to come back. I don't know what's going on
I
with that.
believe she's in the process of trying to come back.
Okay.
Um, and she's not understanding the microphone thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it may be something on her end. But misunderstood. You got any words? You got anything to say?
I'm I am so appreciative of you all, and I got to tell you, I just planned on I just been listening. I've been checking you out, stuff that you've been saying, and I mean, like, in a completely respectful way. I
Hmm.
heard a lot of things that just it's just been painful, but there's also been a lot of healing there, and I really love what you're doing. I love this community, and I
Yeah.
totally show my support. And I shared this stream because I feel like with all the things going on out there, shout out to I
The
want
what?
to
I know. I know. I hold up. Hold up. Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
I can
yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm having some audio issues with Star. Star, try to hit the link again. It's not on my end. Trust me. So, but
I'm not
yeah, but
familiar with this stream enough to
yeah, it's
really.
probably restream, and I know she's pissed right now, but it's not my fault. Trust me. Whoever's
Oh, I
listening,
get it.
yeah, it's not me.
But
So,
I thank you for for these streams, and I
mhm.
don't know if you guys my condolences to those that know Darren Marion. I don't know if you guys said that earlier, but I think with everything that's been going on YouTube, I really am really happy to see something that's positive and to catch a part of it. I definitely want to be a part of your YouTube family, and I really appreciate what you got going on here, and I'm 100% supportive and grateful for you.
Yeah, well, I can't. I'm trying to get on the phone, but I can't. But what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and end the live for right now. It's been a very
Okay.
positive bill, and if you want, you can put your information in the back chat, and I'll give it to Star and Lauren, and maybe y'all can talk, and even Brian too. If you have any issues with anybody, just drop your information, and I'll give it to them three.
Okay. I'm not
Mm.
that. good with this stuff, you guys. But I am gonna put my information in the back chat here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can
Okay,
find
so
my information on this, then just hit me up if you need to talk
All
or
right.
anything like that. You know, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciate that. I put my I'm
What
gonna
area,
put my email here
what
too.
area are you located in? Like what state?
California.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Philly, Pennsylvania.
Oh, East Coast. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I have a couple cousins that live out in LA. They're actors and stuff. So come out there sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. California is it's different. It's we're kind of laid back out here compared to the East Coast, I think. But I put my contact information in the back chat, and so I hope that you guys reach out, and I would definitely keep in touch with you all. Things are looking up, and I'm really things are
Beautiful.
looking up. Just
That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Networking is about giving you options and that light at the end of your tunnel.
thank you, and I see you guys comment. If you leave the stream up, I will read the comments in the back in the chat. I want to catch the replay from the beginning to see what I missed when you guys were talking. But yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, then. Well,
Sounds
what we do, we end the live. We're gonna go over to the treehouse, guys. And I appreciate everyone showing up. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And to Star, it's not me. Yeah, I didn't block you or mute you from mute your mic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hang up for now, and I'm gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna share your information with these three. You got the information too, Brian, right?
I'm going. Listen, I'm electronically challenged, so I'm going to try my
Okay,
best.
okay. I give it the start then. I give it the start then. But
I'm gonna
Thank
try
you.
my
Thank
best.
you for sharing your panel. Thank you for sharing your
yeah.
panel.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no. Like I'm glad you brought your people too, and you helping out the panel. So I appreciate everything.
No
listen,
But
problem.
I'm
it,
humbled. I'm humbled to be a part of this, man.
mhm.
Anything that I can do to, better the situation for anybody. And I look forward to that one-on-one, brother.
All right then, most
Yes.
definitely. I'm
All
gonna
right, I'm
contact
out.
Star after
Good
I get off
night.
this. Y'all take
All right.
care.
All right.
Thank you everybody for coming out to Octavius Prime Show with Starmarie, Lauren, Brian, and our special guest Misunderstood. Thank you so much, and goodbye.